Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Debbie Kershaw. Here I like to share my love of hand knitting with you, and as it is now mid-September, there is a little bit of a chill starting in the air around here. Still fairly warm at the moment. My mind is turning to autumn and of course to Halloween. So I've been through Ravelry, had a look online and got some inspiration, and I'd like to share some of those designs with you. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, stick around. There are some wonderful Halloween patterns out there, including some that I've actually designed. So I'm going to share my favourites with you today, and hopefully you'll get a little bit of inspiration from those. So I've got some hats for you, some socks, some fingerless mitts, and then some fun stuff, which is quite nice. All right, so let's kick off with hats. The first one is the Ryodan Beret by Fran Lopez. Now this is a wonderful beret where you are wearing a spider web on your head. I love that. I like whimsical things like that. It is different, it's unique to me. So it's worked in the round, bottom up. There's two colours, as you can see. And then as you're going round the beret, you're just going to put in the contrast colour to make those outer rings of the web. And then the designer says that afterwards you use a crochet hook and then put in those vertical lines. So that looks really good. Right, so next up we have the Salem Slouch by Sundaughter. I loved this when I saw this because to me it's like a proper witchy hat. The designer said that knitting is being compared to magic. We wave some sticks around, magic happens and we come out with a finished object. Well, I couldn't agree more. And this one is knit in a chunky weight, a bulky weight. It's got 12 stitches and 20 rows for the gauge. And there are three sizes. There's a small, which is 19-inch circumference, medium, 21, and large, 23. So those are adult sizes to myself. However, if you went down the needle size, and even in a DK weight, you could make, I think you can make some child's versions very nicely of these. There are two lengths, short and cute, and long and fancy, she says. But I just love them. Now look, take a look at this photo. When I saw this photo, I was really intrigued by it. I just felt it gave me the feeling of a traditional witch who was obviously a medicine woman, a maternity midwife, and a healer for the community. And it just gave me that feel. So I'm loving this one, and I hope you do too. Right, next up, I've got something to show you. It's actually my own design, and it's called the Spooky Spirits Beanie. So it's a fun beanie, as you can see, little spooks going all around. A little bit of colour work. It's an easy colour work, so I'd say a beginner could do this. Let's try this on for you. Just take the glasses off so you can see it. There we are. So this is the large size, which I'm wearing. I do have 5 sizes of this. It's knit in DK weight, 24 stitches and 26 rows on 4.5. But I've got 5. Look at the little one. 5 sizes for you. So we've got baby toddler size, child, teen, small adult, teen, medium and large. So you can knit one for every member of the family. So take a look on Ravelry. I'm going to leave the links to all of these patterns, of course, in the description below. You'll see some projects where there's some very cute versions of these. Just take a look if you're interested. So that's the wrap up of my 3 hats. Okay, so moving on. Okay, I'm now going to move on to fingerless mitts. And first up, Arachne mitts by Hook Mountain Handmade. And the texture alone is forming the spider pattern, which I love. Actually, I think it's just cables. It's really nice. Let's have a look at what it's knitting. It's a Sport 5-ply. And she does say that the spider cable is not my original creation. It can be found in Barbara Walker's Charted Knitting Designs. But there are many beautiful patterns on Ravelry that use this. But I love these mitts. There are 4 sizes to these mitts as well. So I think they're good. And you could also knit in a DK and knit a little bit of a larger one as well, I think. So those are lovely for spider lovers. Not everybody hates a spider, do they? So those are lovely. So next up are the Salem Fingerless Mitts by VO Knits. I love these. They remind me of that sort of Victorian feel as well. You know, you could do them in any colours. I particularly like the black and grey because that's very Halloween to me. The picot edge, beautiful, and a little ribbon detail going through the top. So let's have a look. It's a worsted weight, a 10-ply. I'm not sure on the gauge, it wasn't too clear, so you'll have to go and have a look at that. But I just think there are 2 different sizes, small, there's 2 sizes, small, medium, medium, large. And the pattern is written as 1. And if you want to go for small, you choose a certain needle size, and if you want to go for large, you choose another. But I just think these are an elevated, striped, fingerless mitt. Brilliant. Okay, and next up I have one of my own designs to show you, the Moonlit Owl Fingerless Mitts. So look, these are a lovely colourwork mitt. I would say that you should have had a bit of experience in knitting to do these, a little bit of colourwork experience. Don't know if you can see, I've got a mock cable rib there at the bottom and at the top, which I think gives them a bit more special as well. And then just a 1x1 on the thumb gusset. But yeah, a lovely little owl for the evening, moonlit evening time. They are knit in fingering weight. What is my gauge? 34 stitches and 40 rounds. These come in a small, medium and large. These are adult sizes, but of course you could, go down a needle size and get a child version out of that if you wanted. Not a toddler, I'd say, like an older child, you could do that. But yeah, these are one of my favourite designs because I love owls as well. Owls are lovely, aren't they? Good. Right, okay. So that's the fingerless mitts. And now we will move on to socks. Socks. Now, if you're knitting socks and you're knitting a colourwork sock, I'm sure you have already come across Charlotte Stone of Stone Knits. This is one of my favourites of hers. I'm Batty for Halloween. It's a top-down sock, fingering weight, of course, 4-ply. Her gauge is 36 stitches and 46 rounds. 3 sizes, small adult, medium and large. Again, go down a needle size if you want to try and get a child one. It's quite, you can't really reduce the stitches any more than you do on socks because they're so small anyway. But if you do go down a needle size, you should be able to get a child size out of it. But I just love these. The background yarn she uses for it in this picture is just amazing. It just really elevates it, doesn't it? So your lovely Batty socks for going out trick-or-treating. Amazing. Okay, and next I have got the Hubble Bubble socks by Abby Marshall Smith from Devon with Love. I love her socks. She's another good sock designer. So I'll leave the details below, of course, like everything else. Do check out her page, check out all her designs. But these Hubble Bubbles are great, aren't they? It's top down again, simple stripes, but then you get that little black cat on the heel, hidden there on the heel for a pop of interest. It makes them super cute, I think. So yeah, I do like those. Her gauge is 32 stitches and 41 rounds. And again, it's a sock yarn, so it's fingering weight for that one. Okay, and next up, I'm back to my good self. I told you I liked Halloween and designing for Halloween. These are my socks. These are my spooky spirit socks, and I did these before the hat actually. These were my first spooky spirits design. I'll just put that on my hand to show you. But you've got, oh, not sure you did see that, did you? Let's have a look. You've got two sort of different little ghosts here running around. You've got a little bit of Pharaoh there, got a little cross there, and I just love these. They've been very, very popular, so I thought I'd share them with you. Again, these are knit on a fingering weight 4-ply. My gauge is 34 stitches and 40 rounds. And there again is 3 adult sizes, so they're not a child size. I knit these on 2.5mm. So if you are good at knitting on small needles and you want to go down to a 2 or even a 2.25, you will get a smaller size, but yeah, they are adult sizes. Okay, and then another pair of my socks, self-promotion. This is my newest one for this year, Beetlejuiced. My Beetlejuiced Socks. So it's inspired by the movie, as you can see. Vertical stripes. It's a very simple knit 2 in yarn A, knit 2 in yarn B. The green giving it that beautiful pop, and a short row heel. The construction is a short row heel. If you're new to that, Charlotte Stone actually does have a really good tutorial on her channel, and I'll put the link to that below as well. So it's a really nice way of doing the heel. Now, the only thing I find for this is that it's a little bit shallow for me. I've got quite a high instep. So for me, I would probably put an afterthought heel in there, because in order to keep the colour work going down, you can't do the heel flap and gusset. It just doesn't work when you're picking up for the gusset. So yeah, that's a nice cute one. The Beetlejuiced Socks. Brilliant. Right, now we're moving on to what I call other fun stuff. And I found some good stuff. First up is this Batwing's scrunchie. This would not take long to make. You can make this in an afternoon for sure. It's using a DK or 8-ply weight. You knit it in one piece, then put your elastic in but sew up the cast on and cast off edge. The designer then says you will need a bit of fishing line or wire, because for the Batwings, you want the wearer, you want them to sort of stick up like they're flying. I haven't looked at the actual pattern, so I don't know exactly how they do that, but I don't think it would be too tricky for us crafters to work out. There's only one size available. It takes 40 to 50 yards, which is 37 to 46 metres. So, you know, you could even have a scrap. Hopefully you've got a scrap of black, or, you know, those yarns with the glitters in and things. That would look really lovely, wouldn't it? Designer says, why not try a worsted weight and get a really nice thick scrunchie, especially if you've got a good head of hair. You're going to need that. So I think that's a lovely gift for somebody. They could wear that out, or to a, maybe not outside trick or treating if it's cold, but certainly inside to a Halloween party. Oh yeah. Okay, and next up we have got these wonderful pumpkins called Scrapkins by Amy Gunderson. I think they're great. Use up your scraps to make yourself a pumpkin. She says you can make these in an afternoon. Do you have a lot of fingering weight left over? Yes, I do. So these small bits are just what you need for this project. The ends are worked in as you go, she says, requiring no weaving in once you're done. There is a separate PDF tutorial for making the wedges with short rows. So it sounds like you need short row shaping and seaming. And then, of course, you just stuff them. But, you know, I like to stuff these things with, I do keep all those ends, you know, those little ends that you cut off everything. I just put them in a jar. And I like to stuff things with that, so that it all gets used up. So they are good fun. The finished measurement is 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. That includes the stem. Fingering weight yarn, and she's knitted that on 2.75mm, so that's a US2 needle. Really sweet. Her gauge is 24 stitches and 48 rows. Lovely. I do like that. I'm hoping that I will be able to make a few of those maybe. Right, next up. Now this was amazingly fun. I was amazed when I came across this. Obviously looking for Halloween related patterns. I found the witchy hat and cape for a toad, and I thought, what's that? Well, the Toad Familiar pattern by Maggie L. Wood. What a wonderful little softie. I love little softies. Have I shown you my Alberto? This is my Alberto frog. Now this is a Dot Pebbles pattern. This is my little frog and he is knitting away. And I love him. So he's with all his knitty friends up here. He lives there. So I think Alberto Frog needs a toad friend. I'm going to have to knit myself a Toad Familiar. Now the hat and cape pattern is actually a free download on Ravelry. She's giving that as a gift to people that have purchased her pattern for Toad Familiar. I have just purchased the pattern Toad Familiar, so I'm definitely going to be doing it. It says it's a Sport 5 ply, but I'm going to hold 2 fingering weights together, I think, for mine. I might make mine just slightly bigger than hers, and of course the witchy cape and hat has to go along with it, doesn't it? They're great little toads. I love them. Very whimsical, and Debbie does like very whimsical. Well, that is my pick for this year for the Halloween patterns, and I hope you got some inspiration there. Do let me know in the comments if I've missed anything really good, because I need to know. Halloween is a big thing for me and I do need to know. So please do let me know in the comments. Have you found something this year that you think is wonderful? And I'm talking about accessories. I generally do accessories for Halloween. I love the big sweaters, but I like to knit up quick and I like to make gifts for people, especially grandchildren, etc. So yeah, do let me know. Anyway, thanks again for your time. Thanks so much for watching. Do subscribe so you can keep ahead and abreast of things that I'm bringing you. I'm going to be bringing you knitting journeys. I'm going to be bringing you make-alongs that you can make with me, and these inspirational videos where we sort of dive into different themes and see what's around. So thank you again, and I will see you soon. Keep on knitting.